welcome to the vlog. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and like this video, and make sure you hit the bell notification so that you can be notified of when I post a new video. So for today's video, I thought it would be important to talk to you guys about the resources that you guys can use if you have a child with cerebral palsy that I found helpful. Something that was very frustrating was that there's a lot of resources for children with cerebral palsy, but then when you become an adult, a lot of those resources disappear. So it's very important that you get connected with the local cerebral palsy associations in your area to get the school on board with your child and make sure that they get all the resources necessary with an IEP and different things like that. And then make sure that you get your child in physical therapy or occupational therapy, and just take advantage of those resources, because once they turn 18, it's very hard to find resources for adults, and that's the problem that I'm running into now that I'm 33. So some of the things that I used as a kid that were helpful was I used a walker, I used a wheelchair. As I got older, I also got an electric scooter that was actually given to me by Shriners Hospital, and I'll explain about Shriners in a minute. So I used a walker and a wheelchair when I was young, and then when I think I was about in 2nd or 3rd grade, I remember telling my mom one day that I don't want to use my walker anymore. I want to be normal like everybody else, and I literally stopped using my walker and just walked. Now, some people don't have that luxury to be able to just give up using the walker or the wheelchair, but luckily for me, I was able to. Now, it doesn't mean that I still didn't use my walker or my wheelchair in other areas. When I go long distances, like when I go shopping at the mall, or we go to Disneyland, or we're gonna be walking a lot, I will use my wheelchair because my legs get tired. Also, when I wasn't using my walker, I would fall down a lot, and so there would be some times where I would have to use elbow pads or knee pads to protect myself. So luckily for me, those were really like the only 2 things that I had to use growing up as a child. Now, physical therapy. Physical therapy is so important for your children and for you as an adult if you have cerebral palsy, but believe me, it's awful. I don't like it. It's hard, it's painful, it hurts. You have to do it a lot. But let me just tell you from personal experience, don't allow your child to stop, even if they beg and beg and beg. You know, I came from parents that were wonderful, and they taught me the importance of my own opinion, and I have control of my body and my disability, which is very important. When I was really young, I went to physical therapy and occupational therapy every single day. Occupational therapy wasn't bad because that you do fun things. You draw, you learn how to function, like giving yourself a bath or cooking or different things like that. But physical therapy was extremely hard. And I remember as a kid, I had to go every single day, 5 days a week, and it was miserable. And my parents were pretty vigilant until I turned about 16, and I told them I was going up to Shriners Hospital at the time, and they were about an hour away from us, and so every day in the summer I had to drive up, and then we would do swimming therapy and physical therapy. And so when I was about 16, I told my parents, I said, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to feel, again, like a normal person. This is just too hard. This is exhausting. And I'm sure my parents were really disappointed, and they tried to convince me to continue, but I wouldn't, and they let me have that decision. Now, when I was 16, I wasn't really thinking about the future and the way that it would affect me. I didn't really notice that it affected me differently. But then when I went off to college and I realized that there weren't a lot of resources for adults with cerebral palsy, I could tell that the physical therapy, me not doing it, was affecting my everyday functioning. And so that is a decision that I regret. I've been going on and off to physical therapy throughout the years, but it's just not the same. I feel like I'm just going to work out, and it just wasn't beneficial. And now that I had a baby, I can tell that it's affected my body. And so it's really important to just continue to go to physical therapy. And your child's gonna get frustrated, and you should validate their feelings and let them be frustrated, but also tell them that it's very important and they won't regret it. So that's another thing. Oh, and another piece of equipment that I used growing up was AFOs. I used to call them UFOs, but they're AFOs, or otherwise known as splints. And they're these things you put on your legs that help your legs stay straight and help your knees not lock, and they just help you walk better. My parents, again, were really diligent when I was a kid at making me wear those. But then when I got old enough to have my own opinion, I was like, no, I don't want to wear those. They hurt, they're annoying, they're bulky, they don't look good in shoes, I can't wear dresses, that type of thing. So I stopped wearing those. I even got some as an adult. It took a lot of back and forth with the insurance company, but I did get those, and I wore them for a while, and then I stopped again, and I should be wearing them now, and I don't. So I feel like I'm preaching this, but I'm doing it because I don't do it, and I want to tell you that it makes a difference when you don't or you do. So help your children realize that it's important, and if you're an adult with cerebral palsy and you have AFOs, continue to wear them, especially if you're walking a lot or you end up getting pregnant and having a baby. It will help you in the long run. Doctors would always ask me, how are your knees? Do your knees hurt? And I would say no. But now that I'm getting older, I'm noticing my knees are hurting and it's getting harder. So that's another thing. Okay, now to use hospitals, doctors, that type of thing. So when I was 3, I had a back surgery at UCLA called a rhizotomy, where they take out all the bad nerves in your spine and then put your spine back together. So I got that surgery done, and that helped me go from walking on my tiptoes to walking on flat feet. So that was really helpful, but it did make me really ticklish. So now, you don't even have to look at me and I'll start laughing. So that was the first surgery that I had done, and then we just got, when I was a kid, we moved around a lot, and so we didn't know of any other surgeries or hospitals, but we did get connected with local physical and occupational therapists. Well, when I was 8, we moved to Utah, and I think when I was 10 or 11, we got connected with Primary Children's Hospital. But then they actually said there's actually a better hospital that will be seated, that will be better for your needs, and it's called Shriners Hospital. And another thing that was, I'm sure, really overwhelming for my parents at the time was that we didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have very good insurance at the time, and so it was like, how are we gonna pay for all of this treatment? Well, the nice thing about Shriners Hospital is that if you're accepted into the hospital, everything is free. So if you go up there for physical therapy, it's free. They'll get you connected with AFOs. They'll get you connected with wheelchairs, walkers, electric scooters. If you have a surgery and your parents need to stay, everything is free. There's no pressure to pay. And that is a lifesaver, I'm sure, for a lot of people. What's also nice about Shriners Hospital is that they're specifically for people that have, I just forgot the word, but like leg issues. So they work with like cerebral palsy, spina bifida, club foot, all of those types of things. And the doctors are so nice. And again, like my parents didn't have to worry about paying anything. And they've come a long way in medical treatment. And so we got connected to them and they told us about a surgery that would be helpful, and it would rotate my hips 45 degrees. So I got that surgery done, and they also extended my heel. So that helped my legs get a little bit straighter, but then I wobbled more when I walked. And they kept saying the importance of going to physical therapy and wearing your AFOs. I did that for a long time because I had to learn how to basically walk again, because I had trained my body for so long to adapt to the situation and to walk differently that I had to retrain it to walk more normal. So I did that for a while. I went up every single day for physical therapy, and then I stopped, and I can tell that things have, I don't know, cerebral palsy doesn't really worsen, but like some of the things that the surgery fixed, I can tell are going back to the way they were before. And that's my own fault. So again, I'm just emphasizing the importance of using doctors and physical therapy and the resources. And if you don't have money, please at least go research Shriners Hospital, and they will either help you or get you connected with resources. I'll have the link in the description below. So thanks for watching. I just wanted to let you know about that. Don't give up. Let your child have their opinion, validate their feelings, but I promise you, if you stick with the physical therapy, the surgeries, the equipment that's given to you, it will help you better in the long run, because when you're an adult, a lot of it goes away. So anyway, thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, tell your friends if you feel you know somebody that might benefit from watching these videos, and I'll talk to you next time.